Good morning. It is June 13th, about 6:45 a.m. And I just left the lookout, the little private cabin that is open for hikers. And I'm just still in shock that they leave it open for hikers. It's so beautiful. I mean, just so well constructed. I read a sign in there this morning that was built in 1998. So if I had through hiked the AT in 97, when I initially wanted to, that I would not have been able to stay there. So one more silver lining to having to wait almost 30 years. But it was just so gorgeous. I mean, yeah, everything from the lookout up on top of it to the cabin interior, top-notch experience. So I have a feeling that's going to be one of my most special campsites, if not the most special campsite. The sunset lasted for hours. I mean, like 10 o'clock. I looked out and there was still like a red line on the horizon. And the only downside to the whole thing was how windy it was last night. I mean, it was windy. So thankful I was not out in a tent somewhere. I mean, it would have been fine down in the woods probably, but the windows are mostly open in there, and I couldn't figure out how to close them. So I had to just deal with it. But I mean, it was blowing stuff around, blowing things over. It was hard to sleep through. So I'm working on a little sleep. But the good news is, in about 6 miles, there's a coffee shop a half mile off trail called Abracadabra Coffee. I need some magic to wake me up. And there's also a farm stand, which people rave about. So I didn't even realize all this was so close to the trail until yesterday. So I'm looking forward to experiencing both of those places, even though I have plenty of food, as always. It's going to be a nice treat. So the trail is super cruisy this morning. I feel like it's an old road bed. And I keep looking like for blazes thinking, did I get off trail again? But nope, I'm on it. Coming into the road crossing where I'm going to go to the farm stand and the coffee shop. Man, this is pretty. Nine o'clock, so I'll come back to this one. So I just left the coffee shop, which was a little bit hipster for my taste. They weren't as warm and friendly as this farm stand. I love the owner. I got a postcard to send my aunt, and I even get to send it from here, so that's really special. And a blueberry peach pie. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna love this. Homemade chocolate chip cookies. I will never turn down homemade chocolate chip cookies. And a raspberry rhubarb bramble. So I will be sufficiently sugared up for the day, but I'm going to save some for tonight in camp too. So bon appetit. Holy cow, that farm stand pie was amazing. And I don't say that lightly. I love pie, but I don't love all pie because it's got to be good pie. That one was a 5-star pie. Really, really good. You could tell she baked that with quality ingredients, knew how to make a crust, and did it with love. Really enjoyed talking to the owner as much as eating the pie, and it's hard to save half of it, but I did because I knew I'd want it later. But update on Untouchable, he got up early, so that's awesome. He doesn't get up early often, but he's going to try to make it all the way to where I'm going tonight. So we'll see. He'll have a stiff day, a big beefy day of climbing, but I know he can do it. I'm not worried about that. I just hope his feet behave. So We have our trail angel lined up for tomorrow. Her name is Andra, and they live on a lake right outside of Hanover, and she seems genuinely excited to take us in, so yay. And today is less hot and humid. It's like the humidity went down from 100% to 0, so, and it's breezy, so it's a good day. Yeah, that was a great little pit stop. Glad I did it. And share a little secret with you guys. I was very tempted this morning, or last night rather, to blue blaze some mileage that was the same distance as what I hiked on trail, maybe even a little bit longer. That would have taken me on some country roads through the valley instead of up in the mountains. It paralleled the trail. I read about it in Far Out, that people were doing it just to break up kind of the green tunnel effect, and everybody said it was lovely. You go through just gorgeous farmland and, you know, quintessential New England, Vermont type scenery. And man, I was tempted. And there's a lot of controversy on what constitutes, you know, a true through hike of the AT, or at least there's controversy in terms of people bantering. There's really not a lot of controversy in kind of the objectiveness set out by the ATC. In their minds, you need to make every reasonable effort to hike all the miles of the trail to be considered what they call a through hiker within 1 calendar year. And you get a certificate if you apply for it. It's like a 2,000 miler certificate, which is a little misleading because the trail is almost 2,200 miles now. I think the name of it originated when it was closer to 2,000. So people misinterpret that. I have found a lot. And they basically think, you know, I only have to hike 2,000 trail miles to be legit. And maybe in their minds that's true, and I'm not going to judge or cast stones. But that's not really the correct interpretation from my understanding. That's about a 10% difference, too, in the mileage. But people will blue blaze, take alternate routes, cut off trail with roads. I see it a lot, and more than I expected, to be honest. Not everybody does it. And ultimately, it's why I didn't walk the roads. I was really wanting to, but I knew it would eat at me to not be a purist in the sense of walking every mile of trail. So I'll have to come back because I love that area. Elf, my friend, he's such a stickler that he will not hike anything other than a northbound direction, and he will not slack pack. So that's interesting. Kind of another layer of purism, if you will. And yeah, everybody kind of makes up their own rules in regard to, you know, like if you leave, enter a shelter one way, and it's just like a loop or like a horseshoe that leads to it from different directions. If you walk out the other side and miss a little snippet of trail, that bothers some people. It bothers me to some degree, but like if I did it unintentionally, I'm not going to go back and do that mileage I'll sleep at night is what I'm saying. So I'd love to know what you guys think. What do you think constitutes cheating beyond, and maybe cheating's not the right word, but bending the rules? What do you think constitutes a legitimate through hike, or invalidates one, probably is the better question. Because again, we kind of know what the ATC sets out for the gold standard and the guidelines, but this is always an interesting discussion because there are some very strong opinions, and you don't see this with other long trails. For instance, the PCT, people hike around Crater Lake, or skirted, I guess, part of it, all the time, and that's not the PCT, but more often than not, that's what you see through hikers do, and nobody ever says, well, that, invalidates your through hike status. But the AT, boy, you step a foot off, and sometimes people really get funny about it. And I think it's always been this way, which is interesting. But anyway, I would love to know if the comments could keep it to civil discourse. No jerks allowed. You can't be acting like your opinion's the only one, please. So be kind. Yeah. I wish I wasn't such a rule follower sometimes because, like today, I think I would have loved that valley walk. Just the homes and whatnot, probably along it, would have just piqued my interest. But my dad would say, why weren't you this rule follower when you were 16? But I've become one. So the important thing is I grew up, right, Daddy? But y'all chime in. I'd love to know. I know I've been showing you guys more field than woods this morning. It's because the woods just kind of look the same. I'm not seeing much that is really super exciting right now. But look at all these wildflowers. Like, come on. That's some good eye candy, right? Vermont has been a very soothing state, I would say. It's been challenging, but not overly. Even the big peaks like Killington, it was a hard climb because it was long, but not just so aggressive that you felt like you never wanted to hike again. And the people here have been very nice. Look at these little white, I don't know what those are, not daisies, but or maybe they are, I don't know. Pretty, that's what we shall call them. And how can you not love a state that just throws all this lupin at you? I mean, come on. This is insane. How gorgeous. Look at this. A little yellow swallowtail right there. Just picture perfect. That little rock scrambler here. He does not like hearing me. Where'd you go? There. Climbing up this hill. I saw this up the hill and I thought, gosh, I hope there's not like ropes to help us get up. Is it that steep? I think these are all trees they're tapping for maple syrup. That's my guess. I don't know anything, but if it is, that's way cool. I mean, so cool. This stone wall's been going on for quite a while, and I think this is an old road bed. So, and big trees. I think these are a lot of maple, maybe. Very pretty. It's like a fern wonderland out here. Look at all that. Thousands of ferns. That's all ferns. Maybe other things mixed in, but 99% ferns. Still going with all these amazing ferns. Vermont is such a show-off. Couldn't capture it on film because it ran off too fast, but I just saw my third bear. He was foraging on a downed tree, and I heard him before I saw him. And I was trying to look and see, like, what was it that I heard in the woods? And all I saw was his butt. So that was pretty cool. 3 bears. Not many people are seeing that many bears that I've heard of anyway. So I feel pretty lucky. All of these trees make me want to come back here and learn more about how this process works. This one, I guess, is where they tap it, but then they're all connected. This one has this line that connects to a whole bunch of trees. I know nothing, absolutely nothing about this process, but now I can't imagine going on without learning more. So many maples now. I just love watching the forest morph and change with each state, even each region.